I don't know if the Narnia movies lived up to the books, but
The
the
books are phenomenal.
yeah,
Oh, if you want another book for, um, I hold that The Silver Chair is the best of the Narnia books, and it is about the dangers of pornography. This is a real opinion I have.
hot take. Okay, go for it.
Well, so the whole point is that like the Prince Caspian's son is like in this like he's like in this spellbound state, like can't get out of the
Mm,
chair because like he's spellbound by the beauty of the woman, but she's actually like an evil serpent, like draining his life force. Excuse the obvious metaphor there, but
mm.
like and then they have to go free him from that, and then he has to literally destroy the chair.
Wow. Do you think Lewis meant that, or is this just your
I have no
interpretation?
idea what he meant by that, but it's like
Yeah.
I think maybe he just meant it about men who are like. I mean, it's he wrote it well before there would have been an epidemic, but he probably
Yeah.
just meant it about men who are like addicted to the like so beholden to like the idea of women, what we would now call, simps. Sorry to use the term again, but like it is kind of about the. I mean, it does kind of seem like you could apply that to pornography pretty easily today.
Yeah.
So that's a great one.
For everyone who doesn't know, explain simp.
Oh,
What's simp?
it's a man who like it's a guy who's like giving a ton of attention to a woman who's not getting like any in return. It's not being reciprocated in any way. I mean, this can happen in any relationship. I remember once, um, Matt Fradd pointed out that there are men who like do this for their wives, where they just like are like they let their wives rule their entire lives and don't fulfill their role in the marriage, and because they're so scared that she won't sleep with them,
Mm.
so they just don't fulfill their role in marriage. So like, yeah, it's just that like on a very fundamental level, it's just a guy who's like so beholden to the idea of sexual pleasure that he is ruled by that drive. Um,
Okay, that makes
I
sense.
guess I think that's the best way to do it. It's most often referred to as guys who like are giving women tons of money online, but can be in just any relationship, I guess.
Got it.
So
Yeah. Does
yeah,
this the word simp actually? Because I've heard it used in that environment too, but or in that context, I should say. Um, does this what is there an acronym? Does it stand for something, or is it just
I don't think so.
okay?
It is a shortened form of the word simpleton.
Simpleton. Okay, that's what I thought. Something like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So
Yeah, and you brought up the great point before, just about like I think there's such a need. I know we're getting to the end of our time here, but there's just such a need for just men to be men and to lead. And I think women want it, and men need it, and men want it too. But there's not many good examples to look to. And like you said, confidence can be such a hard thing, and that's
yeah,
something I see in my work too, and I've struggled with personally. Is especially if you come from a broken family, or there's trauma in your past, things like that. It can be um, self-esteem, low self-esteem can be one of the kind of hallmark struggles. And so I think learning to be more confident. So one of the questions for you, Josiah, is how have you stepped into that maybe role as a man in learning to like be more confident? Like, is there anything maybe recently or from the past that's been like really helpful in helping you become more confident as a man?
I guess just trying to like be like just I know I mean I said it
I know
earlier,
you
but I
said it
think I would
earlier.
just
Yeah.
repeat like the confidence thing. But it's not just like it's like a conscious choice you make. I think a lot of times we use these words um, to mean simultaneously emotion and like they can depending on the context be like an emotion or a state that you're choosing to be in.
Hmm.
Like love
That's
can
interesting.
be an emotion or it can be like the choice to will the good of the other, and confidence can be like I'm feeling confident, but it can also just be the choice to be unashamed in who you are. Um,
Hmm.
and so to try to view confidence less as an emotion that you're trying to chase and more as just a thing you're choosing to be.
I like that. That's really good. I I love business content, so I listen to Alex Hormozy, if you guys are familiar with him, and some of his content, you know, he swears a lot, things like that. Just disclaimer if anyone's offended. But he, he talks about confidence. One of the things that he says is confidence is just like the percentage likelihood that you know you'll succeed at some things, which I know seems kind of like shrouded or a little bit unobvious. But what he means essentially is like, let's say, you know, you walk into a room or you're at a bar and someone's, you know, messing with like your girl or something. It's like, okay, if you needed to fight that person, I know I'm using an extreme example, what's the percentage likelihood that you're going to succeed at defending your girl? And if it's low, then there's no reason to be confident. If it's high, then you can be very confident, because it's like, no, I'm you know, I have strength, I know how to fight, or I can defend myself, or at least get out of a situation like that. Then that gives you confidence. And so his whole thing, which I think is so wise, is that confidence is a byproduct of a stack of evidence. When you have evidence stacked up saying like, yes, I can do this, I'm able to, you know, like in your case, Josiah, like you are very good at video and, you know, anything technology and social media, like all these things, like, and you have a stack of evidence saying, you know, called Pints with Aquinas and, you know, everything else that you've done with us, of course, with Chastity Project as well, saying that you're good at. So you, it would be kind of silly in some ways for you not to feel confident in this space because you have so much evidence. I think the hard thing is when we don't have evidence and we need to act, like you're saying, in a way that is confident. And I think in that sense, you do kind of fake it till you make it. But also, I remember hearing Will Smith, of all people, talk about this. He says, I was just like,
The most unconfident man in Hollywood.
I know. It's funny. But there was this like business interview he was doing. Yeah, there was this business interview he was doing, and he says he thinks like that the seeds of confidence is just being willing to be embarrassed, like being willing to mess up, being willing to not get it right every time, to kind of look stupid. And, you know, if you're willing to do that, I think eventually like you can become more confident. So one, I guess, final thing on this is, since we're talking about chastity and relationships and love, it's like confidence, like I know we're talking about men, confidence with women. I think sometimes today there, you know, maybe are these women who are, you know, really confident they're in like a healthy spot in life and they really desire a man to lead them. But for one reason or another, there's just often not men, or they're not stepping forward. That's at least what I'm hearing from all these women. And I know this can probably be debated and we could talk more about it, but I think there's something so good there to like do it scared, you know, act confident, like you're saying, Josiah, even if you don't feel confident. And I think if you do that long enough, you get the evidence that I'm talking about stacked up to say, no, I'm capable of asking a woman out on a date. I'm capable of, you know, building a relationship, and I'm capable of treating her with respect and having a pure relationship and all those things. So those are a few things that I would say when it comes to confidence, because I think doing it scared when you're starting out is just the way to go. I don't think there's any way around it.
I think it's just the choice to refuse to feel shame when you're being who you are. There you go.
Okay. Just being true to like, yeah.
Like if you're being who you are, like if you're being, you know, somebody once, I forget who told me this, but I've never forgotten it, that like when you're thinking about holiness or masculinity or anything, like God doesn't want another Saint Teresa of Avila. Mm-hmm. He has one of those. He doesn't want another Therese of Lisieux. He has one of those. He doesn't want another Joseph Cupertino. He has one of those. He wants Saint Joey Pontarelli. He wants Saint Josiah. Mm-hmm. And so for me, confidence is always just like when I'm fulfilling that destiny, it's a refusal to feel shame.
I love that.
When I know I'm fulfilling that destiny. So
good. I remember hearing too, I think Jason throws this quote around a lot, that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's like the judgment that there's something more important than your fear, or another way I've heard it says courage is not the absence of fear. It's courage is not the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of your fear. And so I know we're talking about confidence, a little bit different than courage, but I think they often go hand in hand, because when you're courageous, I think you become confident. Yeah. Another thing I would say too is this whole idea, kind of like what we're talking about, of like confidence follows competence. So that's kind of what I was trying to say before. It's
Yeah,
like
you should be competent. This is not an excuse to not, we're not, I'm not making, yeah, completely.
Yeah.
You're definitely correct.
Yeah, and not to say you have to be like, you know, a pro at something or great at this or that. It's just there's something to be said about practicing getting better at things, you know, whether it's, I don't know, asking a woman out on a date or getting really good at your job or, I don't know, learning how to cook, clean the house, whatever.
Is confidence like is it a aspect of humility? You know, is it that, like, is it an aspect of the virtue of humility? Because you'll hear people say that humility is, there's a lot of little aphorisms about humility. You know, it's not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less, or, you know, like it's not thinking poorly on yourself, it's being honest about yourself. So is that in that way, is confidence a part of humility? Just that, like, honesty? Are we talking about the same thing?
I think so. Because what's the deficit and the excess of humility? It would be,
I don't know.
Pride, obviously.
Pride,
excess, arrogance,
self-hatred, I guess, would be one way to describe it.
Interesting.
Self-hatred, extreme self-doubt. I don't know.
Yeah, on the deficit side, yeah, like a false form of humility where like you think so lowly of yourself that it's actually can turn into like a twisted form of pride because there's an excessive focus on yourself, something like that. Yeah, and I think both of those can be really dangerous. So I think, there's something about
wow, that is a big word. Pusillanimity. Yeah, okay. Pusillanimity. Yeah, never mind. I'm not getting that out. Pusillanimity. I can't even spell it.
I'd have to see that. Yeah.
But that's it's what you're describing, though. Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah. No, I think there's something to be said about that. Of like that, I've something with the virtues too. Like they're more easy to like recognize and maybe even describe at times. So I remember just seeing some people who are like actually humble. There was a priest recently I was talking to, and just like he gave a talk, and the way he would like, even just like his body language, the words he would use, like the way he would like move his head, like even everything, it just like kind of screamed like authentic humility. It was really great. Where, you know, other people, I think, myself included, can definitely struggle with that, where, you know, it's easy to be arrogant or maybe to be too self-deprecating or whatever. But I think, there's something to be said about, like you said, just like having a true, clear assessment of like, I'm good at this, or I'm good at that, or, you know, I'm not so good at this or that. I'm not exaggerating, but I'm seeing things as they truly are, as they clearly are. And, I remember in one of my past companies, we would built out like our core values, and humility was one of the core values. And we used the icon, the symbol of the sun, because we thought like humility helps you to see things clearly as they are.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So men are humble and confident, which I think is the same thing. Yeah.
I love that. Good stuff.
Hey, if you enjoyed that clip, I'd encourage you to please like, subscribe, share, comment. That helps show it to more people. And then also submit your question at the email live@chastity.com, or submit your question or call in through our Discord server so we can talk to you in person on our next show.